make our saves.
Yeah, baby.
We'll do it live. F it.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to A Godless Universe. Monday, December 1st. It's the 1st of December already. Oh, man. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Time is flying by. You know, it's like, what is it? 3.5 weeks till Christmas? 3.5 weeks till Christmas. Crazy. Crazy. Make sure microphone is on, the video is on, we're streaming. You always got to check these things. You know, it's like the worst thing. You get partway through your 20 minutes in and you realize, oh, my microphone wasn't on. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing for a live broadcast. Anyway, guys, welcome to A Godless Universe. Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Black Friday? I mean, did you see some of the video out there on Black Friday? I mean, is nobody going out anymore? I mean, some of the video of Walmart, some of the malls. I mean, I think there might be actually more aliens in the malls than there are human beings, for crying out loud. Aliens are shopping. I mean, it's different than it was 20 years ago, right? I remember Black Friday, things were insane. Some people got killed on Black Friday. You know what? I bet it's not, it shouldn't be a surprise. I think if retailers want to sell across a whole many more days than just a Black Friday. So the idea that Black Friday is basically not what it was should not be a big deal to anyone. But hopefully you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. Geez, did you guys see Zootopia? I mean, I know we're a science channel, but hey, I'm a screenwriter, so I do, Zootopia. I mean, I knew the first one. I liked the first one. I don't know if you guys. Where's the? Oh no, I don't want the image file. It really is insane. The box office for Zootopia. This just $556 million over 4 or 5 days. I mean, Disney. Why is Disney making Marvel movies when they're just screwing that up? Mind you, they pretty much screw up most of their movies. So I guess this is, like if Bob Iger, Kevin Feige, or Kathleen Kennedy, just don't let them be involved, and things would probably be okay. It's true. You don't need a weatherman telling you how to write a script. No offense, Bob Iger. You probably don't know shit about writing a screenplay. Or, I mean, does Kathleen Kennedy? I don't know. Does it matter? Because we are debunking the frickin' aliens today, brothers. Debunking the aliens. Or actually, I should be laughing. People still think, there's still people out there, yes, it's true, that think that aliens exist. There's a lot of people. Right? I mean, how many of your friends believe aliens exist and they live amongst us? It's like, what was that with Samuel L. Jackson? Was Alien Invasion? When we learned how he gets the eye patch, he gets scratched by a cat. Fuck off. I mean, if anyone watched Alien Invasion because they thought it was good TV, you're probably enjoying The Witcher as well, I guess. Stranger Things, that's kind of in our ballpark, right? Stranger Things with, very sci-fi, very. I watched it. You got to be a fan because that was a shit show. I mean, that was slapping shit together. Stacking scenes together that were like, okay, can you just stop for a second, take a break, make a little bit of pacing, let the story breathe? No. There were 6 girls that are the secret to everything. Then we found out at the end, William was the secret to everything. before we found out there's a new super powered girl, stronger than 11, who is the secret to everything. I think. I don't know. What started off with 5 guys playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? And I love D&D. I'm a huge collector of D&D. All the old stuff, all the paraphernalia. But what started off with 5 guys playing Dungeons and Dragons has turned into basically a girl boss, you know. Look, and if I'm the screenwriter, or if I'm Netflix, and you see that most of your audience is females, you go with it, right? You that's what you do. I mean, you make the change. Sorry, man, our audience is only 26% male, and do they measure transgender on that? I don't think they do, right? My pronouns are it and that. Those are my pronouns. I would like to be referred to as it as my pronoun, because I'm an alien. I'm an alien. Nick Fury actually married one of those lizard things, right? Didn't he? He did actually marry one of those. Hey, Riley Steele. Hey, doggy. Disney is woke trash. Yeah. I mean, you know, so I'm doing a quick review of Underworld, the first one today, because it is Underworld week. I'm doing a different Underworld movie every day this week. 10-minute review, boom, boom. Did 2003. I watched it yesterday for the first time in 10, 12 years, Underworld. It is amazing how a budget with $22 million. Now, this is in 2003, but a budget with $22 million. They did 95 at the box office. So with advertising, it probably needed 60 million to break even. So, you know, it made the call it 20 million just in the cinematic release. But over time, that movie has made the studio a lot of money. But the story, I mean, they don't even write stories like that anymore. I mean, I'm a screenwriter. I've got lots of awards for the stuff that I've written. I pride myself, and I've never sold my stuff to a whole bunch of trash producers that will turn trash into any screenplay they get their paws onto. But the screenplay and the story to the first Underworld is just tight. It's strong. The characters are compelling. The casting is fantastic. And this is a small budget movie from 2003. They can't even come close to that today. No, can't even come close. Not even close to that today. Which is just shocking to me. But hey, cinema is changing. The whole landscape. If people didn't do what Netflix was doing, they would be put out of business. You know, Mac or HBO has been a streamer for quite a long time, so they've always been there. But basically, I mean, Netflix is eating everybody's lunch, right? If you didn't go into streaming, Netflix would have even a larger percentage of the market. Netflix doesn't care about theatrical releases. They don't give a damn. And it's part of the problem. So we are in this in-between phase. The problem with the studios is they're putting out garbage. Although Zootopia with almost $600 million. Oh, I like the first Zootopia. I did. I mean, they're freaking cute characters. I don't give any credit to Disney. Any credit to Disney on that, like Disney as in the because they princessify everything. They basically go for 25% of their audience. But guys, I just released an Event Horizon video. Do you guys watch Event Horizon? I think I would. Oh, so I finished the video. I released it yesterday, and it's doing really well. You know, hey, I'm a small channel. I just started not too long ago, and a lot of my videos are getting a lot of traction. So I'm really happy about that. And I had so much fun making the Event Horizon video because the lore for Event Horizon is kind of sketchy, right? You don't get too much of it. There's a lot that people are able to sort of project based on what their own ideas are. But if you take a look, being an absolute science nerd, you know, I love anything about universe and space. The idea, the concept, I like the concept of a gravity drive, right? The only thing that really bends space and time is too much mass or too much energy in a point, right? A black hole. The idea that this drive would work under the auspice of gravity, where it creates a small black hole and creates a wormhole. Now, obviously, the physics, they haven't worked out the math yet on that stuff. But from a not science fact, but a science fiction perspective, I think most even hardcore astrophysicists would take a look at something like Event Horizon and say, there's a lot of things that, like, takes the fourth dimension, for example. So the fourth dimension can be thought of as two different ways, spatial or temporal. Einstein, with the theory of relativity, had 3 spatial dimensions with 1 temporal, which is time being the fourth dimension. Now, in a spatial fourth dimension, time is not the fourth dimension. That's a tesseract, right? Basically, you have, in a cube, you have everything coming at 90 degrees on each corner. And then, of course, we cannot show a fourth dimensional object here in the third dimension, but a fourth dimensional creature would have a 3-dimensional shadow, right? The ideas that you can manifest through multi-dimension. Now you go to the 5th dimension. Depending on whether you decide that or want to review that dimension as temporal or spatial, is going to change how that dimension is going to work. Now, if the Event Horizon fired up its gravity drive and it, instead of opening up a wormhole, it actually went through multiple dimensions and somehow got to a dimension. I mean, you could in a really weird way, think of a dimension where suffering, and not in a hellish kind of a way, but in a very torturous kind of a way, you could see how other dimensions, because theoretically speaking, there could be no limit to the type of dimensions, or just because we have our universe is set under a whole different, these certain physical laws and reasons for existing within a 3-dimensional spatial framework. Is it so far-fetched that there is a dimension that is more premised on some sort of suffering? Now, the crazy thing about Event Horizon, some of the scenes that they actually put in the first edit and it went to the studio, apparently it was so grotesque, it was so vile, it was so disturbing. The studio execs asked for it to be removed. They asked for all the negatives, all the film, everything from those scenes, and they destroyed it. They actually destroyed it. So we don't have it. Now, I wish the director, the cinematographer would have, like, just, back pocketed it. But apparently none exists anymore. And that is a real loss to what might have been a fucking amazing director's cut in today's terms. When it came out in 1997, those were different times. What is today, we have so many different avenues by which restricted, highly grotesque, if you want to say, types of movies are released. I would love to have seen those scenes. Sometimes I think was it Lionsgate? I think it was Lionsgate. Maybe the top brass was religious. Maybe they were Christians, and they saw such hellish, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta, like, fucking the devil be with us. Burn it at the stake. Burn it at the stake." I don't fucking know. It's sad. It's sad that we don't have that. But anyway, Event Horizon, to me, is still one of the most mind-jarring, and I'm working on a second video with Event Horizon. It's going to be probably into the new year, because it is so compelling in terms of what is possible within the multi-dimensional framework. It's all theoretical, right? We don't know if it exists. We don't even know if a fourth dimensional entity could exist. Biology, whether or is biology only a 3-dimensional phenomenon? In the fourth dimension, maybe it is something else. Fifth dimension, maybe there is something else that's not biological, but it is some sort of incantation of life, of consciousness, but with a much higher existence. And then you think of the 10th dimension. I did a video on the 10th dimension, on all 10 dimensions. It's one of my, I think it's got like a 64% average view rate with a CTR of, what is it, almost 10%. The idea that a 10th dimensional being, which would have the ability to understand and create universes, dimensions, realities, but also have the ability to create all of the rules and physical makeup governing that dimension, or you look at a ninth dimensional being, and theoretically speaking, based on a certain framework that's built, the ninth dimensional being could create these things, but it couldn't create the framework. And so even a ninth dimensional being would be there. Where do these things come from, right? Where does it, and of course, up top, there's a 10th dimensional being, which most religions would call God, the deity, Zeus, Odin, Ra. But the dimensions are pretty freaky. Like there's no limit. I'm glad I don't do drugs. Fuck, that's what I'm happy. I'm glad I don't do drugs. I'd be up late at night going through. I'm just going through some of the gravity system as well. I think. Yeah. Do they have the script from before it was cut? Yeah, I'm sure. They have the script. You know, it's funny because a lot of the scripts and the screenplays, because I love reading because of being a screenwriter. And I always tell people, you can Google me, Danny Alex, screenwriter. You can see I've won hundreds of awards in film festivals around the world. I have not optioned one of my screenplays. I haven't sold any. I lived in Hollywood for 20 years. I'd rather have them not made than turn them into shit and Hollywood junk. Maybe one day, hey, you know, if the right thing comes up, but you look like Tom Green and Chuck Norris had a son. You know, the reason I went to Los Angeles was because of Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris and Wesley Snipes. I was a kickboxer, kickboxer. I started boxing, then I kickboxed for about 7 years. And I was also worked in the public markets as a market maker and an economic analyst on NYSE and NASDAQ. And then Wesley Snipes and Chuck Norris were creating this exercise machine in Los Angeles, and they wanted to take it under a small cap, you know, a penny kind of stock to raise the funds. I said, okay, I'll do it. You know, I went down there, did and of course then they put Wesley in jail and everything like that. And Chuck Norris is a pretty cool guy. That was back in 2007. Moped Mike, this I guess is with, I think it's more, you see Robin, I look like Robin Williams? Damn, I think I'm taller than Robin was. I think it's more likely than a supernatural hell. Yeah, like the dimension, like in the event horizon. Yeah, that it's probably like some sort of a dimension. I think describing it as a hell. I think in the video I described it as hell-ish. I didn't want to call it hell or suggest that it's hell, but that it is some sort of a dimension of suffering where, and that's not too far-fetched, where we wouldn't understand the reasons for its existence or why it exists in the realm that it does, but relatively speaking, the suffering that we have is basically premised on our own human nature, right? So, Gioelia Acula. God, some of you guys got these crazy names. I can't pronounce that. That was an English major. Gioela Ocacula. He was 45 years old with a very fine face, rather pretty eyes, but a revolting mouth and revolting teeth. Wait, who are we talking about? A small but shapely ass and a 5 inches. What do you? I don't even know what that is. That Robin Williams? And Zach, have you guys, you know what, Zach, what was that series he did with 16 episodes on Prime? It's still worth watching, rewatching. Baba Hotep. You still messaging that? No. Oh, geez. Probably parts of the current universe revolve around suffering. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's there certainly is suffering, at least in this part of the universe. The one thing you have to realize, and I think we take everything for granted. I don't know if anyone is a student of history. I am. Like in university, I took antiquity. I took a lot of history. I love the medieval times. Greek, and I love Greek. I mean, basically, the Greek culture is the foundation of the entire Western culture, and understanding history is such an important part to understanding our future. And to think every culture that we've built since the beginning of humanity has collapsed. I mean, the Greeks basically collapsed. It was Alexander the Great that basically brought to us the Hellenistic period, right? Which is the foundation. I mean, Alexander the Great had so much to do with our current world structure and our thinking, because basically he was the Hellenistic. When he passed away, and then all of his generals basically took up the... and Rome expanded and took that culture or that way of society, merged it with theirs and took the best parts. But to think that our culture isn't going to fail. Even just the Kessler effect. You guys know the Kessler effect, right? The idea that, well, the satellites, gravity was a great example, right? Where you have so many... Elon Musk is approved for how many? 46,500 satellites? How many does he have? 48, almost 50,000 satellites. That's just what's his not Neuralink. Every time I need a name. When you go live, like I say, when you go live, you lose 20 IQ points. Man, I tell you, I probably lose about 22. Like, what the hell? But he has a proof. Now you think of all these satellites and the debris, and it only takes a small little piece to cause a chain reaction. Now there's different orbits, right? There's low Earth orbits, and these orbits go way out to hundreds of thousands of kilometers. But I did a video on Kessler effect. I'm actually doing another one because there's so many things associated with the Kessler effect that will put us back to the Stone Age. It will put us back to buggies and wagons. Yeah, mule. Yeah, that's where we're going with the Kessler effect, or the Kessler syndrome. Some will say the Kessler syndrome. Right? That's it's scary. If you haven't heard of the Kessler syndrome, believe me, as more and more satellites go up there, they literally track every little piece of space junk, and it is a mezzanine, a deluge of space junk that is in. We're not putting fewer satellites up there. I mean, there's a new South Korean satellite that was launched every week. Every week, someone else is throwing up. China's putting up. Bezos is putting up his Orc cloud, not the Orc cloud. What is it? I forget these names. They all. He's putting up just like Elon Musk, right? A series of massive. How many satellites can our Earth handle? Because all you need basically is a mathematical situation where one satellite hits another, and then mathematically, based on the amount of debris that's created, that debris goes, and mathematically it becomes a certainty that the Kessler syndrome creates a situation where there's no more satellites in space. Because I don't know how you clean up all the different orbits of Earth. I guess eventually it falls down, but some of this stuff is going to be up there a long time. So we may be the authors of our own demise in ways that a lot of us may not even perceive or understand or even know exists. So it's, do you guys, I've done this before. Do you guys know what size this shirt is? Look at this shirt. I just got this today. How big is this shirt? What in the frick is going on with the world? I'm just under 5'9", 210 pounds. Yes, I work out. I go to the, this is a 2X. This is a freaking 2X. Why am I clapping that? That should be a laugh or something. But this is a 2X. If this was a 1X, like I say, I'm 5'5", just below 5'9". Call it 5'9", okay. 210 pounds. 2X barely fits me. Like I go like this and I could feel it, right? And granted, 'cause, I have pretty good big back from boxing, kickboxing, but this is a 2X. They literally, this would have been a large. This would have been a large 8 years ago. Now I got to buy 2X. I go and I bought it at Costco. Do you have anything in 2X? Ladies looking at me going, yeah, that's the way I'm looking at myself too. Just call me fat. Say, yeah, you're fat. Well, fat section dude is over there. Am I allowed to say that? Can I say that word on air? Oh, you guys watching Bitcoin? I worked in the public markets for years, right? So, I mean, Bitcoin, I always watch it. You got to watch it as a percentage, not a dollar terms, right? Bitcoin took another dump today. The market took another dump today. I tell you though, sometimes I think after years in the stock market, what's going on with AI, I watched a bunch of videos on AI on some of the leading scientists over the weekend. And I think that the idea, I did a video, and actually I did a live episode on the idea of, will AI turn us into Borg? And I found it incredibly fascinating. That this one guy, and I'm gonna maybe probably next week get into his videos on AI, that he said, well, and the point he makes are valid, right? Never has a species that is less intelligent had domain over another species that was more intelligent on Earth. And that is, if you take a look at superintelligence and the idea that AI can grow at a rate that will absolutely dwarf the human's capacity to reason, develop, think, create. The only way as a human being less intelligent, less ability to compute information, that a human coexists with AI, there's only one way that it happens. Merger. Basically Borg. We're talking about Borg. It was funny because I was talking about this when I did the video about a year ago. A few people were like, AI, Borg, humans can't be Borg. It's all no, you know what? Neuralink is proving, fuck. The only way for us to think about this, the only way for us to coexist with AI and not to be absolutely dominated by it is to coexist with it, merge. You will be assimilated. Now, there are probably think tanks, hidden think tanks, deep within Silicon Valley that might talk with the government, might not, that I believe are multiple stages ahead of us, that there is some sort of a plan for the RFID or to be chipped, right? Humans need to get chipped. That's kind of like the first stage. The people that are developing AI, as much as they want to talk about creating boundaries, precautions, Elon Musk basically, with Grok, he basically discovered that either I go all out Or, and now Gemini, have you guys used Gemini? I'm telling you, Gemini in the last 2-3 months has become the go-to AI. If you want to do research on anything, basically what AI does, instead of going through and Googling everything and going through and trying to pick out the parts of all these web pages, the big thing that AI does, if you ask it to assimilate a bunch of information, is it basically does the search for you. You can, on ChatGPT, you can see it going through all the websites, and it takes the information, compiles it in a readable form so that you can take it and go forward. Now, that's basically how I do my scripts. I don't have to go and, statistically or mathematically or factually. I get that data and then I read it, I simulate it, I watch videos. Let's say with the Event Horizon, I watch fan videos. I mean, the reality is, there's me, and then there is undoubtedly going to be so many more people that are more intelligent in one area or another than me. So for me, this is a learning experience. I watch and I learn from what other people say. If you don't do that, well, you're an idiot. There's no way that you can have the faculty of ultimate intelligence over a few hundred people, right? The hubris for that would be, so we have to learn from the people around us. But what we will be doing, and guys, I think it is a matter of fact that we will be inorganic computer chips. Inorganic computer chips will merge with organics, our brains. The electrical signals, the technology will be advanced to the point where the electrical signals of organics and inorganics will merge to be seamless. It'll probably cure things like nerve damage. People that are in wheelchairs will probably, that's nothing but a massive thing for everyone like that, who has any sort of paraplegic, quadriplegic nerve damage. I think that's probably just on the cusp of being, few years, I don't know. I don't know what that answer is. But if we don't merge with AI, there is no situation where less intelligent beings have dominated. There's also I don't know if you've seen like the artificial neurons, where they create these artificial neurons and they double it on an algorithmic scale. It eventually gets to the point where it mimics life. It eventually gets to the point where it mimics the complexity. What you start to understand is perhaps life is a set of random choices to the point of trillions. We have 86 billion neurons in our brains, all connecting and zapping, and we're basically electrical energy, right? It's anyway. I had a very interesting weekend watching these videos, and some stuff I want to bring probably maybe this week, but next week. AI has got to be a huge focal point for Godless Universe. It is the future. It is coming fast, guys. The video. I was in Hollywood for 20 years. You would have to do certain types of video, you would have to have a $250,000 photo shoot or video, production shoot, plan it for two weeks, script it, get all the grips, get the cinematography, the lighting, this and that, the sets, the location. And today you do it with a few prompts in a computer. That is fucking crazy. They're doing stuff that took a crew of 25 to do over 2 days. They're doing it in 10 minutes. You know how many people are losing their jobs? Talented people. These are talented people. The best thing you could be is a robotic repairman. You want a job? Be a robot repairman. That's what you do, man. That's what you do. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Yeah, fixing robot joints. That's what I'm gonna. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna remove that. Can I remove that, please? Video file. You know, so where is it? So this is.
The year is.
I'm just gonna play a first minute or two because I love putting this video together. One thing that was really hard with this Event Horizon video was it Paramount? Paramount owns this. Paramount. So basically when you do the video, you take basically a few seconds and then you edit it with a whole bunch of other video. Every time I uploaded this video, they were nailing me with copyright strike. Or, not a copyright, but a copyright. And so you can't monetize it. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to go back and re-edit it. So then you take video and then you add a picture for a while and you go back to the video. And I had to, oh my God, I spent hours just trying to get it so that Paramount was okay with the visuals. It was Disney and Marvel, they allow you to use their stuff almost to a crazy, because I guess they want their stuff out there. More fan stuff, the bigger the property, the more it is. But I think maybe Event Horizon is such a popular property.
The year is 2047, and the deep black of space holds terrors we can barely imagine. Could a ship built to take us beyond the stars become a terrifying conduit to something ancient and evil from another dimension?
And that ship, like the Event Horizon, they spent the story on so what they wanted to do was to create a ship that felt the part. And so what they did is they used, if you look at the gravity drive and all these things within it, they used a lot of elements or feeling that was medieval. So they used spikes, very metallic, very charcoal. And color, like one of the worst things you could do in a movie like this, it's one of my biggest issues with The Witcher. Prime colors. Do not use prime colors. Now, obviously, if you're doing something like this where it's an explosion in space, you want to have that vibrancy of an explosion. But as it relates to the characters within the ship, if you take a look, the colors are muted. They're using some very sort of almost like neon type colors at times. But when they want to get that eerie feel, the corridor going into the gravity drive, and the gravity drive itself is medieval. It's a medieval feel. Black, spikes, intimidating, very intimidating.
What happens when the ultimate scientific achievement rips a hole not just in space, but in reality itself? This is the chilling premise behind the science fiction horror film Event Horizon, a movie that presents a concept of propulsion so radical and terrifying that it leaves audiences questioning the boundary between physics and science fiction. The Event Horizon was designed for one purpose: to breach the seemingly insurmountable distances of interstellar travel.
And again, I mean, the gravity drive conceptually, I think, I mean, it's brilliant, right? If you can open up a wormhole, you need something like a black hole, that kind of density of bending space. It's just a great concept. So
its propulsion system is at the heart of its mystery.
But that is, I mean, that is science fiction sexy, right? That is science fiction. All these lights were 500-watt lights that they put in there, and if you take a look at the background of the gravity drive, it's very metallic, it's very gray, it's very spiky, and even you look at the spikes on that top wheel. That's the way they wanted it. They were very great at putting this movie together. They really were. But yeah, I don't want to, you know, dwell on it. I just launched it yesterday. The video's doing good. Okay, let's go to Age of, I want to go to Age of Disclosure. I want to go to Aliens. Can we go to Aliens? We're doing the fucking Aliens, okay? Thank you, studio audience. Studio audience is absolutely fantastic. I'll do Underworld after the Age of Disclosure. The debunking. We're debunking the aliens. So if any of you guys saw the Age of Disclosure, I'm not an alien believer. Not even close. Not even close. I think people that believe in aliens are basically using the same principle that people 2,000 years ago did. It's like, well, what is this lightning and thunder that comes from the sky and the rain that floods our crops? It must be a god. That's right. I have no other way to explain it until you could explain it, which has always been the worst thing for religion. Is science. Science doesn't care about religion. It doesn't give a shit about religion. Keep your religion. But religion cares about science. It does. It has to, because it's premised on blind faith. The only thing religion can give us, are more scrolls from more caves. And that is all. That's all that religion can give us. Placed there by men who I guess would be cavemen. But that's all, science is going to give us, if anything, religion will not give us the gravity drive. Science will maybe one day give us the gravity drive. And it's nothing against religion, right? Nothing against religion. Keep your religion. If you're religious, damn, I wish I believed in heaven. It sounds like a good place to be, right? I die, I go to heaven. Oh, that'll be I have no reason. I can't. Can you guys believe in it? If you can, then the concept of the event horizon kind of becomes more real. Although that's premised a little bit more science fiction. But I'm going to play. So guys, I'm going to play just to set it up. I'm going to play the trailer.
The American people are ready
to Age of Disclosure
to receive the truth.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human.
I don't think no one ever said that other intelligent. There's 2 trillion galaxies in the universe. 2 trillion. One thing that Age of Disclosure does is they always use the term universe, whereas what you think alien life from a billion light years away is stopping in. Do they have like Stargate technology? No, just stop it in. We got the Chiron all lined up and just popping into the Milky Way here. Did you guys know this Andromeda galaxy is going to hit you? Yeah, we heard about that. But the whole trailer is, guys.
I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
I worked on highly classified UAP programs.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the 4th Director of National Intelligence.
Director of
The fact that Clapper can serve under any type of intelligence capacity is absolutely news to me.
Aviation Security and the National Security Council.
The 1-star admiral after 32 years of service.
People that come forward with this, I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program that investigated unidentified aerial phenomenon.
For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic.
And these guys look serious. Like they honestly believe what we will see after this, debunking some of these videos that people think, like some of it is absolutely freaking amazing. You think, no way, is that what that is? But this video, Age of Disclosure, it's the same stuff regurgitated in this slightly different way.
We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
Well, I mean, I'm like, really?
Look at that thing. It's rotating. There's a whole fleet of them.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is...
Yeah, Xi and Putin. Putin is really unleashing that alien technology, isn't he? That Russian army sure turned out to be as fierce as we thought it was.
Similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
This is so secret. Very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis, but that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about it.
Now, that is a really good point. That has nothing to do with aliens. There are parts to the government, the U.S. government, because it's established during one administration. It just carries on into the next and into the next, and then no one knows it's there. And from what I understand, they get funding from other... They just kind of, the bureaucracy moves money around so that these things are funded. And because presidents come and go, senators come and go, congressmen and women come and go, bureaucrats never go away.
Government doesn't trust its people because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
Well, you clean it. The idea of anti-gravity. Anti-gravity. If you've done any research, I actually did a video on anti-gravity. Did as much research as I possibly could into anti-gravity. The universe ain't that simple, my friends. You don't just throw a saddle on a freaking black hole and say, giddy up, because we've mastered anti-gravity. So we're going to take this ton 618, because we've mastered anti-gravity. Really? Anyway, you know what? Can we get into debunking? Let's debunk this stuff, right? Let's debunk it. So what we're gonna do? So these guys absolutely rock ass. If I can say rock ass. It's guys. They're called the Corridor Crew, and they are VFX guys from. I don't know if they're in Hollywood, but these guys are fantastic VFX guys. I do have
Gentlemen, please don't.
The link is in the description. I want to make sure, like, if you guys want to see what these guys do, it's absolutely freaking awesome. But basically, what you're about to see is some of the most compelling UFO video that you would say, oh my God, that has got to be that's the proof. That's the mother lode. That proves aliens exist. And these guys, they're so fucking good at what they do. They are so good. They're called the Corridor Crew. And we're going to go, and I'm going to jump in every once in a while, just, make sure from copyright stuff to put my 2 cents in. The link is in the description to this video. They are called the Corridor, and they are VFX, special effects guys. And what that means is they know video, they know what to look for. I do a lot of Photoshop. I do Premiere Pro, so I know a little bit. I see some stuff. But these guys are freaking awesome.
Call the FBI because they will try to shut this down and not let you watch this video. We are going to debunk alien, UFO, UAP sightings. We're going to look at it with our trained VFX eye to see if there's any tomfoolery going on with those pixels. Is it CGI, is it manipulated, or is it the real deal? We're going to tell you the truth once and for all.
And you see this stuff, like you just saw a little taste of it, right? And you think, oh my God, like that looks real. It does look real, but it's not. And these guys are so good at exposing it. There's some stuff that even their buddies, they're like, what is it? And the first one,
I've got one that might blow your mind, and it just dropped.
Really? You got a fresh one?
Oh, piping hot.
Well, I've got a nuclear power plant story that blew my mind because I couldn't figure it out. Until then, I did.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Have you guys heard of racetrack UFOs?
I've heard of racetrack UFOs.
God, there's something like intentional jankiness in the presentation, but that's not it. Anyways, racetrack UFOs. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is a flying triangle off the wing of an airplane.
I was about to say, this looks like it's taken out of the window of an airplane.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to airplanes, you know how many pilots have said, oh, I've seen this over there. But there's always a specific kind of a time in a specific place, region of the sky, that they usually see this stuff. Pilots and even UFO enthusiasts, is that a nice way of putting it? Enthusiasts will bring up the whole the pilots have seen, oh, the U.S. Air Force has seen, the U.S. Navy, what the Navy pilots have seen.
Wait, oh, what the?
It's 3 distinct lights.
As professionals, is this authentic footage or is this manipulated footage?
This appears to be in camera.
Why is that?
There's a few various clues, like the micro shakes of the camera, so the dots and the wing kind of move at the same time. Secondly, the camera goes out of focus on both the dots and the wing at the same time. Those are 2 artifacts that you would have to intentionally replicate, adding that.
You gotta think, they're in the sky, right? So this video is taken, they're high, like probably 36,000 feet cruising altitude, and someone is taking this video outside of their plane, and there is a ton of this video that the alien enthusiast will say, here's your proof. You need proof, here's your proof. I'm like, oh my God. So this is 36,000 feet, wherever, 36,000 feet up in a plane.
Manually. Are we looking at internal reflections of the airplane window?
You do see internal reflections of the airplane window, which is the big blue and kind of white spots that happen in the top left of the screen right there. So your instinct of looking for internal reflections or reflections through windows, especially like doubled ones, is smart. But for those reflections to work, they either need to be moving in exact opposite of each other, like you're around a pivot point, mirroring around a pivot point, or moving exactly together. And in this case, their size and shape is changing. One of the things that strikes me about this not being CGI is how much of the screen is just in darkness. So if you were trying to track these dots into real footage, you would have nothing to track and you'd have to do it all by hand. And you would inevitably get some weird jitter. But I'm not seeing any weird motion whatsoever. So
and if you guys, if any of you work with Premiere Pro, I work a lot with Premiere Pro. I use it for all the videos I do. I edit everything and chop it up. Photoshop. When you're trying to create these effects, you do notice and see things that are consistent with the effects that you would try, especially these guys, especially this guy who's on the screen right now. I mean, they all kick ass, but this guy really kicks.
So let's put a pin in this one. Part of the same family of sightings is the flying disc.
Tell me that doesn't look like a UFO. That looks like a UFO.
Is a sighting from Jalisco, Mexico.
What the heck?
Yeah, it looked at first like it was rotating, but I think it's just like a linear trajectory of some kind.
Well, let's take another look here, because this is a multiple sighting phenomenon.
You imagine you're sitting at home, but you look out your kitchen window, and you're in Mexico. One of my best friends, well, probably one of the top 2 best friends is in Los Angeles, is from Mexico, and you look out your window and you're like, what the?
Is it rotating or is it moving in a direction and just like fading off, tapering off? You're showing these together. Are you saying these are the same type of phenomena?
These are actually all racetrack UFOs.
What do you mean by racetrack UFOs? I still haven't gotten an answer on what that means.
I'll give you an answer once you figure out what the heck we're looking at.
Oh, we're looking at cars going around a racetrack, except they're in the sky.
Oh, dude, it's a mountain. It's just dark. They're coming around the corner. I say that jokingly, but that'd be really cool if that worked out.
I honestly...
Wait a minute, is that right?
No.
Might be honest.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's a great idea, right? So you got, you're looking out towards a mountain, and then you see cars kind of coming down, and based on the road being the same configuration for every car, it's going to react to the headlights of a car in the same way every time. So it's going to look like something. I mean, it's a great idea. It's a great thought. And I bet you a lot of alien UFO stuff is exactly that. But not in this case. Good guess.
Would have been so sick.
Good guess.
All right, here's another one.
Oh, mames, esa madre está perrísima, güey.
Oh, so, right?
See, they're called racetrack UFOs because pilots are the ones who often report seeing these, and it's like they're racing in circular patterns on the horizon. The time at which all these videos are taken is basically the same. Most pilots report seeing this at dawn, flying to the east.
Do you hear that? Almost all of these are reported by pilots flying near dawn in the east. Now, what is it, though? What is it? What could it be?
Those are just airplanes.
Those are not airplanes. Those are definitely not airplanes. So a racetrack UFO is another way of describing a satellite when it's catching the sun from behind the horizon at that exact angle where it glints and then shines a light to a viewer as they're standing on the Earth.
No fucking way, right? No way. And there's proof. There is proof that that is exactly what it is. It's not just speculation. It's just not like, you know, like the alien people. It's like, oh my God, I must be a fucking alien. We're going to be attacked. Yeah, I think Disney did a TV series called Alien Invasion on that one. There you go watch that one. But anyway, there's proof. He has proof that these are satellite reflections.
And we can demonstrate this really well, actually, using the couch as planet Earth. And would you mind turning on the flashlight on your phone?
Of course.
And putting it, say, on that chair? You think of like a Starlink satellite. A lot of them are oriented facing the Earth. And as it's coming over the Earth, and I'll see if I can ping you with a glint. Can I get you with a glint? So as they come over the Earth, they go, shwing. I don't know if I got it. There's an exact angle where if you stand on the planet, that little flat satellite will perfectly capture the sun and glint it off that satellite and right into your eye. And it's a very small area of focus, which leads to the satellite going dark, very bright, and then going dark again. The reason pilots report seeing it to the east when they're flying to the east is because as the sun is rising, those little satellites are coming over the horizon of the planet, catching that little glint, moving out of the way.
Okay.
I mean, that's... Of all the explanations, like you think those look like alien craft, right? But that's not even the evidence. That's not the evidence to the explanation. The evidence is still coming up. You think, oh, well, that doesn't really prove it.
Which means, going back to the first example, it looks like they're just rotating. They actually are going in a line because they're literally this constellation of like a dozen or so.
You look at, you see that up in the sky. You're like calling Will Smith and like, I think we got an alien invasion here. So, you know, no. Chill out. Here's what it is.
Those satellites in a line, and they're going through that small zone where they're reflecting light one after another.
So there's a couple really interesting things in these different viewings. First, let's talk about the spinning disc one. First things first, if you actually spin a disc and you have points on the edge of that disc, the points will appear to get closer together at the sides of that disc when you have perspective coming into play.
This is crucial. This is so important. This is why these guys are so fucking smart. They really know their shit.
But in this case, the spinning disc, all the lights stay evenly spaced apart as they come in and out of the light. So it's not a spinning disc. It's actually satellites moving in a line. And those satellites are all oriented the same way, and they're all catching that little brief glint of the sun. Now remember, the sun's not shining on a little specific spot. The sun is shining on everything, right? They're just angled in a way where that reflection lines up to your eyeball for only that brief moment of time, just like I demonstrated with my phone here. Now, what you are seeing here is 3 different satellites moving in 3 different directions, and it's just by chance.
That's crazy!
That they happen to all catch the light, be oriented the same way, and make a little triangle.
That is crazy.
Do you have any more proof?
So Mick West has built this tool called SitRec, where you can position yourself and you can see the satellites in a live flight pattern, recreating the moment that you've seen.
That's cool.
For all these racetrack UFO sightings.
Whoa.
So there's the triangle happening in the bottom right corner. There's the position where it was filmed, and there's the video in the top right corner.
And so we're seeing when they would actually be catching light.
So those flares that you see there, like the big fuzzy balls getting bigger, is the actual program showing you when the glint will be happening based on the satellite's orientation. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
I love
There's so many people convinced they're seeing
Fucking
UFOs from all the satellites that are catching light.
The explanations are the average person would never wouldn't even have the inclination, the understanding, the knowledge, the perceptive boundaries by which they're going to even conceive of anything like this. Oh, honey, look up in the sky. Oh, don't worry, honey. That's just a reflection of the satellites coming in at a pre-dawn basis when the the corridor crew fucking rocks.
Had to build this tool to effectively disprove everything. And you can see a great illustration here of like the satellite catching the light, reflecting into the pilot's eye. Boom, flare, and then it's gone.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Basic geometry. That's debunked for sure.
Basic geometry. Debunked!
You know, once again, props to Mick West.
That's just one of many. Let's keep going, shall we?
That's for like carrying the flag, man, and like creating a community here to like really try to like, not like angrily disprove people, like take the time to show them like, no, here's what's happening, here's the reporting, here's what's happening, and like going through and disproving it.
For the people who saw this phenomena live, it's understandable that they would draw the conclusion that they likely did. Like,
it's crazy.
It looked like a spitting disc for all intents and purposes.
Totally.
Hey, that's not a UFO, that's an IFO, an identifiable flying object, also known as an airplane, like from today's sponsor, War Thunder. It's the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and it's completely free. Command over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters.
Because it's their video, I'm going to continue with their sponsor.
And ships,
apparently
from vintage planes to modern jets and cutting-edge tanks.
I'm not a
and if you know
video game
anything
guy.
about Corridor, you know we love tanks.
Addictive personality. I spent Warcraft.
What really makes this game stand out is
Warcraft stole years of my life. I realized if I play video games, I will have
is how detailed it gets. There's no health bars, just real simulated damage. You can literally see where a shell entered and what systems it destroyed thanks to their really awesome X-ray damage view that shows you exactly how you took them down. It runs beautifully on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and mobile too, so you can play wherever
But I do feel like playing this game after watching it a few times.
Wherever you go. And with 70 million players around the world, there's always a battle waiting for you, whether you're into arcade action or full sim mode realism. Oh God, I'm getting shot at. Just use the link in the description to play for free. Plus, new or returning players on PC or console get a massive bonus pack that includes multiple premium vehicles, 100,000 silver lions.
Is that a Sherman tank? Sherman tank? I don't think a Sherman tank could even get through a Panzer's armor, could it? Like the worst tank. They had to make thousands of them because it was the worst tank in all of World War II.
7 days of premium and an exclusive Eagle of Valor decorator, but it is only available for a limited time, so act fast and see what real identifiable flying objects actually look like.
Have you guys seen the mysterious floating black ring?
Yes.
No.
I saw one in real life.
What are you talking about? You okay?
In my previous life, because it killed me.
So, can somebody tell me what the is this?
Oh, that is the ring. I thought it was circling the ring in the image.
This one's a little freaky, right? This one's like, you see it and you're like, what the? If you saw it.
This is really cool. Once again, perfect UFO video presentation, right? You got the guy on the side of the road, I'm like, what the heck am I looking at?
It looks like something out of
Arrival.
Arrival, yeah.
That's exactly what this is. This is actually aliens trying to communicate through a new form of writing, just like in Arrival.
I knew it.
So is this VFX?
No, this is real. This is in camera. This is something that can actually be done today. We are looking at fluid dynamics in the atmosphere of a giant explosion.
What do you think? What is it? Will this one be debunked? What is it?
And then it just turns into smoke. But as it's rising, because it's very hot, it starts swirling. You get the same thing with bubbles underwater.
And here's an example of that ring being created in real life.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
I'm watching this.
Not a bad idea.
That is cool. It's crazy how it got darker though as it kept going up.
What you're likely seeing in the other clip is a
I think Gandalf made one of those, didn't he? Or no, he did the ship and then Bilbo did the hole and the ship went through the hole. But I guess if you're a wizard, you can do that kind of shit.
Transformer popping.
Oh, yes. Yes.
In fact, there's a clip here from shortly after it popped in India, I think, and it has the exact same effect.
How do you not to a simple mind, to a mind who was not, let's say, technically inclined, how would you explain something like that to them?
Here's the thing, you know what I just thought of? If you're gonna fake a UFO video, you should totally take one of these ones where real scared people are filming real unknown phenomena, just track it. Because it's always the motion that gives it away, right? It's like so intentional. Do this.
No, you're right, because other people would also be like, hey, what is that? And like looking at it.
Yeah.
And this one like nails that. It's a really neat phenomenon, and now you guys know what causes those mysterious black smoke rings that you see all the time in the air. Hey, you guys want to watch the ghost one?
Well, it wasn't as impressive as anyone thought, so.
Watch a ghost story.
I know this is UFOs, but we also look at
but it looked impressive.
a ghost clip on the website. A woman and her cows and her dead grandparents and her 9 dead cats. And we debunked that on corridordigital.com.
It's low-key kind of amazing, too.
Yeah.
It's a great story. But you can only watch that.
Do you guys believe in ghosts? I mean, really? I mean, I don't. I have tried so hard to believe in ghosts. I've put myself in situations to be attacked by one. I've had girlfriends tell me, well, they're not going to attack you because you want them to, so they're not going to. Like they go to like ghost school. Like when you die, you go to ghost school. What do you want to be? Well, I want to go back to the corporeal world and like scare humans. Like, oh, okay, well, you have to go to school for that. And you have to understand that you can't attack people who don't believe in you. Oh, okay, well, it doesn't fucking make sense. Okay, yeah.
That one on corridordigital.com. There's also an app. Search our name on the App Store.
It's only $3.99 a month.
All right. Orbs. I'm about to show you a real
okay, guys, this is a big one.
Orb.
Oh.
Remember the Booga? Was it the Boogosphere? The Boogosphere?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a good orb right here.
Orbular.
Look at this. You could make an HDRI with this orb.
Are we looking at a visual effect or are we looking at something in camera?
This.
And that's the first question you have to answer, right? Is it a visual effect or is it in camera? Like, is it VFX or is it actually something that happened and they filmed it and it was a fake?
Could be a visual effect right now. There's something that's hitting me about the shot. There's something that's bumping me. And that is the keyframed handheld nature of it. It might not be. It could be stabilized lens, but oof.
Yeah,
boy,
it's those sharp linear keyframes. But yeah, I mean, are they trying to maybe stabilize in a brute force way? Although, you know, the second that you take it into a program to affect the video, already you've added some stink to the pile.
If you look at the black crane on the left, you see that highlighted line from the
this is actually really important. I think, and this is where these guys are so good at what they do.
Sharpening filter. You see how big that white line is? I don't see that same kind of sharpening.
I didn't notice it until he mentioned it. I mean, maybe if I had the original video and I was, dig deep and find something. It's such a good point. Such a good point.
Artifact on the orb. There's a small piece of black something that's effectively the same size as the orb, and look how much sharpening artifact is on there.
Yeah.
Not saying it's VFX yet, but it's definitely like ringing a few VFX bells. And the thing is, if this camera motion was added after the fact, then you don't need to do any tracking. You just plop it in the shot, kind of get the levels to match, try to get your sharpening to match, but maybe not quite because you didn't quite figure it out. And then you add your post-camera zoom, which is all like keyframed and moving around.
So I'm kind of on the same page with you guys. I agree. I don't think this is real. I think this actually might be a visual effect. But next is an example that I want to get your opinion on.
Oh, we have the pop to the other lens. It's really nice. Can we see that again?
This is a good one.
This is yummy.
Well, look how it's just booking it. And it kind of changes direction a little bit. Now it's going up.
Whoa. This is a fun video. That's too much to track. What are you really gonna hold on to? When you're zooming in and out, first of all, you're zooming from the zoom lens and it's popping out to the other lenses. That's a whole challenge you probably wouldn't want to unpack. But also, as it's moving through the landscape, like, what are you holding onto to maintain that plane? I guess he's not really moving in terms of parallax, he's just moving from a stationary location. But when you're trying to track a specific object in the scene, what are you tracking? A piece of the cloud that is evolving over time? Maybe it's static enough to get by. If your main object is moving quick enough, you won't notice the difference there. But all of these leaves are moving to some capacity, which makes tracking them kind of useless. It's just the way that he's trying to catch it. Like, it doesn't feel like it's operated with nothing there. It feels like it is operated truly trying to catch something. I would say operating a camera like that is harder than acting like you're seeing something that isn't there.
The fact that like when it pops different lenses and the color change happens, just there's a slight color change and it matches that on the ball is very compelling to have it feel like it was shot in camera.
There's a very similar thing. It was a ball. It was in Mosul, in Iraq, and this ball in front of a surveillance camera. This ball is very similar. You know, it just goes flying right in front of it. And basically, what that is, there's is it a weather balloon or ball that flies low altitude? And basically, it's literally. It was debunked very quickly, but it doesn't matter because the people that want to believe, they believe it, and they will put it out there as being verified fact when it's the only thing that's verified is that it's debunked as being nothing more than, you know, a balloon.
This feels like a balloon though. Does the video go any further than that, or does it end basically there?
It ends basically there.
Watch where this goes to. Watch where this goes.
That's another thing, a little bit of a flag, where it's like, if that was a crazy UFO, they'd probably have like the full shot. They wouldn't just clip off beginnings and ends, which leads me to believe that shortly after, it does a little balloon thing where you go, oh, that's a balloon. And they clip that off so you don't see it. Yeah.
It's too contrived. I mean, the whole thing is too contrived. But,
so here's the thing,
let's keep going.
This was a few weeks after the Buga Sphere. Buga is the name of a city in Colombia.
Interestelar con Jaime Maussan.
This guy. If you're Spanish, you know this guy.
Interestelar.
Oh,
this guy. I was about to ask, do you remember this guy?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild, but this guy is a nut.
If you know Spanish, you know this guy is like the biggest fraud. He had like trying to pass off these ancient skeletons, these miniatures as they were paper mache. They were paper mache.
You remember him from the
mummies?
The mummies, the little mummy dolls that were actually just a bunch of bones glued together.
Paper mache.
Well, now that this guy's involved.
Yeah.
Mira cómo alumbra varios colores. Eso es como metálico, ¿cierto?
For me to like be into this and like think it's aliens, like it needs to do something. It can't just do what a balloon or a bubble does, but not look like a balloon. It's like, well, okay,
exactly.
But it might just be a weird looking balloon. You know, it's gotta be more than that.
Right, because alien technology is going to be doing something, not just floating around like it's a balloon.
It's a good point, because if it is intelligent life that has made it all the way over here, it wouldn't just kind of be doing.
How is that not a balloon?
It would be probably have like a goal or purpose or direction.
So here's more example of the balloon flying around. Sorry, the Buga Sphere flying around.
Yes.
And eventually, it lands. Now,
Buga Sphere.
I was waiting for this guy to pick it up.
Yeah, you got it.
This is such a good point. This is such a good point. It's the same thing with the Charlie Kirk thing. You know, when we were supposed to have taken a shot, they start the video when he starts running. Well, if you had the video, why don't you just show us the 15 seconds before? I mean, yeah, you got the video. You might as well. Whenever they don't want to show video when it starts at a stupid spot or it ends at a stupid spot, it's basically you gotta be convinced it's a forgery.
Pick it up. You gotta pick it up.
You notice how they cut to the camera already set up and looking at it, and they have this guy enter frame?
You involve someone who's already been caught with fraud, like I'm already out.
Point the camera at it.
Point the camera at it. Do not. No, you don't cut. You do not cut.
Now we're
talking.
The camera guy sets himself up first to get the shot of the guy walking in to grab it, but he can't bother to get the shot and picking it up, or the guy walking away with it. I'm calling it. That's a yoga ball.
This is
That's
what
a yoga
they
ball,
found
exactly.
that fell out of the sky, supposedly. I skipped through a lot of this. This is a freaking 26-minute video, but he goes through some analysis. Apparently, it was cold. They're pouring hot water on it, and yet it is still cold to the touch.
First of all, there was no pattern like that on the freaking balloon. We would have seen it in the specular.
This is at the very least a hand-fabricated thing. This is not something you could just buy off of Amazon. Someone made this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even, you see nothing in the video. I mean, this is, I mean, the one thing about, you know, have you ever watched Spanish soap operas? I mean, Spanish soap operas are crazy. I mean, they are crazy. It is, this is, I mean, actually, watch this. The points they make here, it's kind of like, it reminds you, you know, like when you watch like a Star Wars thing and they're like, it's supposed to be high tech. And so like in some of the Ray movies, and they're trying to, they have wires, right? You guys still use fucking copper wires, and you're using hyperdrives, but you still use copper wires? Are you kidding me? You're soldering wires together and you guys got freaking hyperdrives? What the
Oh my
fuck?
God. What are they I know what those tools do. It's a soldering iron.
Yeah.
I paused and I was like, all right, that's a soldering iron, that's a power supply.
Oh, magnifying glass here to flip it over.
And she's pointing. You see it? I can see it here.
Oh my.
I hate
Yeah,
this.
a magnifying glass. This is so highly scientific. Good, like, oh my God. You put people in a white lab suit, you put some sort of face protector on them, and you give them a magnifying glass. I'm fucking convinced it's gotta be alien tech. Who could be so stupid? Who?
Kind of stuff is obvious. It's so obvious.
Yeah, he made his mummies out of paper mache. Cause that alone, like, I'm sorry, bro, it's over. If you find real alien footage, don't give it to him. It's tainted at that point.
So the first one, probably digital. Second one, most likely real. But this one, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Oh.
Yo.
Oh.
That.
Oh.
Freaking old.
That looks like an airplane behind that.
Yeah.
light.
Something's following it.
It's a helicopter tailing a sphere, according to the poster of this video.
First question, is the second light added digitally?
I would say no.
I would also say no.
Do you see how that
Yeah,
smeary?
stretch and motion blur.
I mean, look at that. That's immaculate. And you got that bright hot spot
That
even in the
same
motion blur streak.
subframe motion blur.
Yeah, you're totally right. Like, the detailing, that's not a linear motion blur. That has detail in it. So it's in camera.
Could also be a second helicopter with its spotlight on.
You clearly do not see any helicopter spotlight itself. If a helicopter's got a spotlight on, you can still see the cone of light from it, even if it's not pointed directly at the camera.
Yeah, I don't really know what this is. And it's not doing anything like inhuman or like technologically advanced, so I'm not inclined to say it's an alien, but I don't think it's VFX, and I don't think it's just like another airplane.
It's moving. It's moving almost exactly with the helicopter. My thought was right away that it has something to do with a movie production, something that is specifically because when you're filming something, you most often that you want it to be. You want the camera to be locked in with the whatever your thing you're trying to film. Because when you lock it in, then you can do a whole bunch of different effects around this thing. If in frame, this thing is moving around in frame, there's very impossible to do. That's how when people appear and disappear in basic frame shots, the camera is locked. It's locked into a frame. And because it doesn't change from one take to the next, you can add and remove things. This is what I saw in this one from my Hollywood days. Is that there's something that they're keeping something very steady in frame.
I could see it being something they're filming. That if a helicopter is following it that closely and that perfectly, the helicopter is likely coordinated, and they're probably filming. Because you don't have to follow that closely if you're just going to tail something.
Exactly.
You do follow that closely when you got your camera on a gimbal and you want to get a cool shot.
Yeah.
That's my buddy Tom.
But it's definitely unidentified.
This is an unidentified one. I don't know what this is.
That's UFO. Heck yeah.
No. That one is, to me, that is a film. They were filming some. There are so many low budget movies being shot all over the world. So many. That was some sort of a movie shot.
One more orb video that I honestly could not figure out. Okay, so what we're looking at is a...
Oh, guys, this one, I swear, this one will fuck you up. This one will fuck you up.
Nuclear power plant in Japan. We're seeing a bunch of drones or orbs or something in the sky.
These are airplanes flying into the airport.
There is no airport near this place, by the way.
Based on how fast that light is strobing on that building, this is sped up footage.
That is like it. Like honestly, it shows how smart these guys are. It does. I mean, that is, to the average person, totally over their head, right? To a VFX artist, to a guys that know what they're looking at when they look at videos.
Flying into the airport.
There is no airport near this place, by the way.
Based on how fast that
Look at
light
that.
is strobing on that building, this is
Such
sped
a
up
good
footage.
point.
I have to be inclined to say
Such
we're
a
just
good
looking
point.
at airplanes.
I will tell you, they are not airplanes.
All right. Okay.
What is that?
Okay.
Whoa.
Look at that. Look at this. Now, again, if you're in like the age of disclosure and you're an alien loving, I believe in Nick Fury marrying an alien lizard. I believe they're amongst us. I believe there's alien tech.
Oh, what is that? Wait a minute. I figured it out. I was thinking that we were just seeing reflections in a window.
Aren't we seeing that kick up off the top of
Right?
the water?
Oh, that's something up close. It's causing, it's either out of focus, causing some sort of weird reflection. Yeah, that's not light shining on the background. Don't be fooled by the cone and the appearance of like a light shining a helicopter shining a spotlight down the ground. That's definitely not what we're seeing. All right, keep going.
It's laughing so much.
Is this a miniature?
No. What you just described is exactly what it is.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
That is a helicopter shining light down on the ground? Oh, wait. I see it now. I see it now.
They're boats.
Hey!
They're boats.
Hey! Oh.
They're boats. They're boats. Behind the nuclear. I'll shut up and we'll just keep playing.
Finally being fooled pays off.
Nico's like, it's definitely not a helicopter shining its light at the ground. And it's like, it was actually exactly a helicopter shining its light down at the water.
Delete that clip. Delete that clip. Don't put that out. Don't undermine my professional credibility.
The reason why this works as an illusion is because you assume you're viewing something from roughly the same altitude as the actual power plant, whereas in reality, the camera is up on the mountain from a web
shot.
And so we're looking down
See?
at not just the power plant, but the ocean beyond it. So we're just seeing a bunch of boats and ships in the background just slowly going back and forth.
That makes
It's the most simplest, usually. It's the most simplest of explanations because visual illusion is meant to confuse that which you perceive to be a normal, normal reality. You can't explain it, so you immediately jump to a conclusion. This is what us humans do, right? Just like religion. What is this thunder and lightning that comes from the sky? Well, it's Thor. It's the god of thunder, the god of lightning, the god of... or it's just the one god that has come to replace all other gods. Although I think we still have 6 or 7 main gods around the world, I think, isn't it? I'm not sure exactly. But it's very hard. If we can't explain it, we need to explain it right away. It's a UAP, it's a UFO, it's alien, it is alien tech flying within our atmosphere, motherfucker.
Makes a lot of sense. It's just boats scooting back and forth.
But I was stumped. I was like, I don't know what those could be. Are they drones? They might be drones flying around inspecting the power plant. That was what people were assuming.
From the right angle, ocean is sky. Holy crap.
Right.
So going back to that
Good
shot.
point, right?
Yeah, you can see some of the detail of the ocean.
You called it when you said it's a reflection of the light off the water.
Yeah, I looked at him. I was like, you knew it was
I
water?
thought it was such a bad guess that you started laughing.
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Mystery solved. Wait, what is this? 1 million alien sightings, 5,200 abductions, and new subscribers, 290,000. What is this?
It's a subscription push to subscribe to Corridor Crew. All right, next frame.
Wait, no, hold up.
You didn't
hold up.
explain it. Wait, are we in the push? Is this the push?
What do you mean 290,000 new subscribers?
Yeah, that's how many we're gonna get from this video.
Wait, is subscribe on the screen right now?
I hope so.
Oh, shoot.
These guys have got like 7 million subscribers or something. Like, these guys are good.
Do it.
They're good.
I mean, you boys have brought some fantastic clips.
Thanks, Jordan.
And whoa, that was terrifying. And I want to continue in that same vein. We'll start with the first clip here. And this is more of an appetizer for the group.
Oh, this is a good one.
Ooh.
What
This is a good one.
the heck?
Oh, they're big.
Are those the
Getting
spaceships
bigger.
from Arrival? Woo. Oh my god, okay. Yes, all right, that's what's up. We're finally seeing some legit visual effects, all right.
You know,
They immediately know it's VFX. Immediately they know it's bullshit. And having done my own video stuff,
it's pretty fun until it VFX its way out of there.
Okay, so you guys think this is VFX? You're calling balloons.
Yes.
Easy. Okay, what makes this so stinking easy to spot?
The hand in the animator shines proudly here when they animate those little things to zip up out of the frame in a way that I can just see the keyframes. I can just see the motion.
Also, the little smoke poof.
Yeah.
Color.
Yeah.
The white spots that happen.
I guess
doing something.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Mystery solved.
Oh, sorry guys. I messed up. There we go.
Quickly to it.
Yeah. That's always a give, isn't it?
It's too much of a straight line. There's not enough reaction around it.
It's interesting you're talking about the reflexes because that's something you guys have tested on this couch before with Sam. And he told Nick what direction he was going and that he was about to go. And Nick was much slower than this guy. This guy has apparently, I guess, been watching these ships for a while with no indication that they're going to move at all, let alone.
So basically what they're saying is you're looking at a stationary object. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it's going to do. And all of a sudden it zooms up. But with absolute amazing reaction, the camera moves up. When something moves out of frame that quickly, when you're looking through a camera, you're like, wait, where'd it go? What just happened? And they move so fast and so quickly with the reaction time based on where this thing is flying. It's a contrived scene. The whole thing, like with the little poof explosion and everything like that. I mean, when I saw this, I thought, oh, fuck, this is utter VF. But it lets them
what direction they're going to move in. And for him to be so quick to follow is, he must be an F1 driver or something.
No, the aliens are just broadcasting over their speaker and 3, 2, 1, launch.
Yeah, to be fair, we don't have sound, so.
And then the little smoke puff that it leaves is just like screen mode, so it ends up being brighter than the clouds behind it, which just is physically impossible and not the correct way to composite smoke.
It would have been more believable to me without the smoke puff. It was 100% just the smoke puff that solidifies this as fake to me.
Yeah. The smoke puff. That's.
You know what's an underrated aspect of the fakery here? It's the perfectly anchored zoom right to the center. That's actually really hard to do. There's no overcorrection or fixing to get the object of interest back in the center of frame. I dare you to try this at home. Take your phone and try to zoom in on a faraway object and try to get it perfectly dead center in frame without any correction. Keep in mind, this is handheld. And not only that, but they're also fighting against the fear of God that is inside of them because they're watching aliens. Okay, they're not calm. They're panicked out of their minds.
Also, I'm now convinced this is actually a photo and we're looking at 100% just wiggle in After Effects.
There's way too much roll on the camera.
Yeah, the roll is what was given away to me. It's like there's constantly like a 1 or 2 degree wiggle, just constantly going back and forth.
You know what's interesting about that too? Is that the amplitude of that shake is the exact same when zoomed out as it is when zoomed in. If you zoom in, guess what? Those micro jitters of your hand or whatever's moving the camera, you're gonna feel them a lot more.
These programs all calculate their random directions in different ways, but a way that they frequently do it is by stacking sine waves. So you have one sine wave that's going back and forth at a certain amplitude, and you have another one that's a different amplitude and a different frequency. And when the two combine, you get kind of those interfering waves where you have bigger spikes and bigger valleys. But you can still see kind of the individual frequencies a little bit. And you don't get the true random motion that you do in real life, which is such a different kind of motion than having a program kind of like pick random points.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like it has to wobble like it's on the ocean for some reason when it's using a filter like this.
And these guys deal with video so much, right? Well, if you're a VFX guy or gal, I don't think I've ever seen a VFX girl with 20 years in Los Angeles. I don't think I've ever seen a VFX girl. I'm sure there are some, right? I'm sure there are. I'm not gonna. But these guys, because they deal with video and the manipulation of video so much, I mean, these guys are good at what they do.
Look, if you're gonna do a fake UFO shot, just take your phone out and film a piece of paper on a wall, grab the tracking data, and apply that to your UFO shot.
Yeah, honestly.
Real handheld camera motion just beats the fake stuff any day.
They just literally told everyone the easiest way to make a convincing alien shot. I have friends who believe in aliens. I have friends that believe in aliens. I do. I have over chicken wings and beer. It makes for an interesting conversation.
Well, you guys debunked this one pretty hard, right? This was the appetizer because hot off the press, we have a piping hot, brand new military UAP drop. And again, we're talking, this is like a week old, okay?
Oh, really?
Ooh.
So I want to get your guys' eyes on this ASAP.
All right, all right. Let's do this. Ooh.
Okay.
It looks sinister already. Should I be scared? Should I be scared of alien invasion?
Okay. Yeah, that was it. This looks like I'm looking at inversed infrared footage.
And we're looking at a spotlight going across the clouds, but because it's inverse, it's dark.
Now, this footage was released by filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. He's in the space, okay? He makes documentaries about UFOs and stuff. And this is...
Like right there. Bang, I don't believe it. Motherfucker makes documentaries about UFOs. Right there, boom. You're a liar.
Purported to be military footage. Now, to be clear, this has yet to be verified by the Pentagon, but he assures us that this is 100% guaranteed military footage.
Whatever.
For the sake of this, I'm taking his word for it.
We're gonna take his word for it. So with that said, there's another view of this thing that makes it a little clearer for us.
Is that a balloon?
That just looks like another orb again.
Balloon?
It's an orb. It's a fucking orb.
Wobbly.
Is that balloon?
No, this is new footage that the military released.
It's a balloon. It's spinning end over end. I can see it.
Hold on. We're definitely seeing a strong specular highlight on the underside. And that specular is being blocked by the clouds, so we can kind of see it's going through the clouds to some degree.
Dramatic,
but yeah, it's
right?
moving in like a linear path. Really, the deduction is balloon. What kind of balloons would want to fly over a military base? What comes to mind?
Weather balloon, observation balloon,
Weather
Chinese
balloon.
spy balloon.
That's what I was thinking too. Some kind of spy balloon.
Okay.
The problem is, this is what spy balloons look like. Unless, of course, you're looking at them from the bottom. In which case, they look like that. Now, I'm no expert, and this certainly isn't proof. But if we overlay...
Oh, that's so good.
I'm not saying this is proof, I'm just saying, if this was a spy balloon, they produce a minuscule infrared signature and also have a minimal radar return.
I will say from the footage, it just looks to me like a regular sized balloon close to the camera, just drifting across the screen. Guys like this,
If it's really
he black and whited it, he inverted it, flipped it upside down, and a balloon flew across the camera.
Nico, this is going on national tours right now.
What do you mean this is going on tours?
I mean, Jeremy's going on tours with this clip right now. This is popping off right now. So I wanted to bring it to the masters here.
I guess I appreciate the hustle, but there's no substance here.
You know what the problem is? Here's the problem. You know what the problem is? Is there is such a significant portion of the population that is utterly science stupid. And the people that honestly believe in aliens are the ones that sell shit to them. They want to keep the idea going because they are the ones that have the economic benefit associated to them. All of these motherfuckers. That includes Avi Loeb, who's a dumbass. How the fuck does he have a job at Harvard University? I mean, who's got the most to lose from this alien thing being debunked? All these dumbasses that sell shit and make money. Some of them make a lot of money. The people that debunk this shit generally don't make money. They just debunk this shit. But the people making the money are like the people that make videos about Dogman and 3-Eye Atlas sending out 12 probes to attack Earth. Clickbait shit that I can't believe YouTube ain't been smart enough to get rid of yet. But I don't know. Who's got the most to lose from aliens not being real? The fake alien industrial complex that needs to sell bullshit to a lot of stupid people that propagate this blue ball we call Earth.
Hate balloon themed hoaxes. I just want my balloons to be pure and innocent like they should be.
I thought we had something here. Jeremy, I did my best.
Damn fucking right, that's debunked. Oh, and that's the end of the video. I'm gonna do a lot more of these guys. Yeah, no, these guys, the corridor crew guys, the corridor crew. Give them a big round of frickin' applause. The corridor crew are link in the description if you want to go look at the full video. We're gonna do a lot more of this. a lot more of the debunking of the video stuff. We are the voice of reason here at the Godless Universe. Why? Not because we are godless. That has nothing to do with it. Because we are the voices of sanity. Sanity. Dr. Evil, sanity. So guys, that was fun. There is a lot more. The great thing about guys like that is they're so good at what they do is they can see things so quickly that a lot of us can't. And like I say, I'm a screenwriter. I spent 20 years in almost 20 years in Los Angeles. And of course, when I do my videos, I edit all of my own videos using, footage from many different sources, images from many different sources in Premiere Pro. I know what Premiere Pro can do. Like, you can literally create a 100-foot person in less than 5 minutes. It doesn't take much to do this stuff. And the whole idea of aliens and the belief in aliens, it doesn't take much. I mean, so we are going to do a lot more from the Corridor Crew because those guys just fucking rock ass. Just rock ass. Ass. Can I say that? Can I say ass on YouTube? I think I can. The further deeper into the video, the more you can like say stuff. So yeah, I got this. I had this one little thing planned today. I'm gonna save it till tomorrow. It's about an African bridge. It's about. I'm gonna save it till tomorrow. So if you guys want to see the African bridge bit, come back tomorrow. Underworld, guys. Have you seen? So this is Underworld week. I'm gonna spend 10-15 minutes at the end of every episode talking about. Yesterday, I watched for the first time in 8 years, 5 years, 6 years. I don't even know how many years. Underworld 2003, right? And guys, so I'm a screenwriter. You can Google my name, Danny Alex, screenwriter. I've won hundreds of awards and film festivals around the world, a lot of big ones. So I do have I've written shit, right? I mean, not saying I'm the best at anything or whatnot, but I have a little bit of credibility in terms of at least what I say compared to most of these fucking YouTubers that know. Like, have you listened to some of these YouTubers? Like, I guess just any dumbass could go on and say, well, I really like this movie because it was a little better than pacing. You know, the characters were weak and the character fucking the middle pacing and the pacing. Have you ever fucking worked on a script or a production or ever tried to write anything or done anything in the creative arts? Have you ever even fucking tried to create anything in your fucking life? People say, well, you don't have to be in the movie business to make a critical review of a video. Well, you know what? If you're going to do a critical analysis of, let's say, color commentary of the NFL football game, that's why they get guys like Tom Brady, because he knows his shit. And if they're going to call, anyway, anyone can give their opinion. And sometimes it's entertaining, right? I mean, sometimes these people on YouTube, they give their opinions on movies. And it is generally, like there's a guy, what's his name, with Nerdrotic, Gary Beekler. The guy knows his shit. Like, talk about comics and videos and stuff. Holy jeez, dude. Like, when I watch his videos, I pay attention because he knows his shit. He knows comics like nobody else does. He knows the genre that he is interested in. Whether you agree with him or not, he knows his stuff. Critical drinker? Not so much. He's a verbal showman. That's all he is. He's a verbal showman. He basically repurposes simile and metaphor across movies he likes and movies he doesn't like. And he tried to make a movie, and holy shit, have you seen the movie he tried to make? Like, nothing against him. I'm sure he's a nice guy. But the one thing you don't want to do when you're a movie critic is go out and try and make a movie. Chris Stuckman's movie was 10 times better than Critical Drinkers. I don't want to say that's embarrassing because I don't know. I don't know. But if you have watched, so what do I like? What do I like? I got to remove this stuff. Okay, stop screen. Let's remove this stuff. Remove from studio. Remove from studio. Remove from studio. Kate Beckinsale is what I like. The one thing, okay, so I want to compare Underworld 2003 to Fantastic Four. Underworld 2003. What is, if you remember watching Underworld 2000, the very first Underworld, they start out with the Lycan following the human. But Celine doesn't know that they're following a human. We are introduced to the protagonist and the antagonist in the same opening scene. The opening scene requires you to give a compelling narrative on the part of the protagonist or the antagonist. I say Tombstone often. What do we get? The cowboys go into a wedding, killing people. Why should we hate or fear these people for our protagonist? Because these people are willing to kill indiscriminately. And then what's his name? Johnny Ringo takes the gun and blows a hole right through the forehead of the preacher as he just finished recanting a verse from the Bible. It's fucking brilliant storytelling. The next scene we're given is a bottom-up look of Wyatt Earp, Kurt Russell. And then we see a guy whipping a horse, beating a horse. And then we see Kurt Russell, Wyatt Earp, take it, whip him. Does it hurt? Don't it? That's how we are endeared to this character. Whenever you save an animal, audiences like that character. Guillermo del Toro did it in Frankenstein. Anytime animals are introduced into a movie, it's not by accident, my friends. It's not by accident. Let's put an animal in there. For what reason? I want the audience to like my protagonist even more. Superman saves a squirrel. Why did James Gunn put in there Superman saving a frickin' squirrel? Because squirrels are cute and Superman spent all that time saving one squirrel. This isn't an accident. This is screenwriting 101. That's the problem with saving a squirrel. It's so basic. It's screenwriting 101. James, you're a fucking better filmmaker than that. I mean, that was so bubblegum plastic, you know. James Gunn is a much better screenwriter and filmmaker than what he put out for Superman. He is. He is. So for Underworld, the opening scene is fucking brilliant. It is brilliant. You get the so nobody knows about this Underworld series yet. This is the first movie. And so the opening scene, they knew that they had to introduce the vampires and the Lycans and the tension between them. They had to introduce the stakes. They had to introduce the conflict between the two. And they introduced the main character, Celine, beautifully. Beautifully. It's one of the things I take a look at that movie, and whenever I write a screenplay, that first scene has got to take you and draw you in. Do you remember the first scene from Alien? We go through this dark and dingy spaceship, the Nostromo. We go through corridors. We go through empty, dead places that we think is void of life. And all of a sudden, we see across the computer screen, all these little things, lights go up. We see two helmets. We see a reflection in one of the helmets. Brilliant screenwriting. Brilliant. This is Ridley Scott, his first movie, or first great movie. And then we slowly move into the idea that this ship is awakening. And then we're brought to the idea that there's a crew in cryo state and they wake up, and we have this absolutely natural introduction to characters that every fucking alien movie has tried to replicate. Do your own shit. Don't try and copy what Ridley Scott did. Just do your own shit. We don't need to be reminded of how good that scene was because Ridley Scott did it so well. You don't need to fucking copy it, Alien Earth. You don't need to try and copy it. Great screenwriting means being inventive, doing stuff that hasn't been done before, introducing characters in a way that is interesting and new. But Alien Earth, all these fucking new day screenwriters, directors try to do stuff that we've seen before. We don't need member berries and everything we see nowadays. We don't. That's why Underworld, I watched it yesterday and it was so refreshing. And you get into, I think I did do the, yeah, there it is. I do have the, now I got to be careful because they really, when you play these, you know what? I'm going to turn the video, the audio down. I don't know when the last time you guys saw Underworld. I recommend it because the movie is, so it did a budget of $22 million. It did almost $100 million at the box office. So if we say that it had a $30 million budget, advertising budgets back then were smaller. But even if you say $8 million, it's almost 50%. It made $20 million in 2003, which is probably about $30 million. $30 million is a lot of money for an investment of $20 million. That's 150% return. That is a good return. But this movie produced 4 more films. And we got to see a lot of Kate Beckinsale in black shiny leather. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you take a look at movies and how movies are constructed, I've seen so many stupid people do reviews of movies. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't. It's these bubblegum wrapped little fucking YouTube videos that are like, do you even know what the fuck? You're just giving your opinion. I really like this movie. I think when people watch a review nowadays, and I see it, give me some meat on the bone. Why did this suck? Why did the character suck? What didn't work? Why didn't it work, right? There are reasons why Underworld worked.
The war itself had become more perilous.
Look at the tone. Look at the colors. Look at the tone is consistent through the whole movie. The colors are consistent through the whole movie. It's a black, white, kind of a bluish tint with a little bit of color sprinkled in. Now that is by design. That's colorization. That is a desire on the part of the film. What the director? Yeah, Len Wiseman. Right. Yeah. He was also the writer. But when you watch the tone and the world building, and Underworld was brilliant. It was brilliant right from the first scene. Consistency. We felt vampires. We felt lichens.
The weapons had evolved, but our orders remained the same. Hunt them down and kill them all.
And one thing I'll say about Kate Beckinsale, she nailed this role. Kate Beckinsale took the idea of a female protagonist. Unlike anything that's today, unlike Rey or who are all these Mary Sues, Ahsoka, the Acolyte. What else have we got? I mean, it's she played this role so well. She was a powerfully strong death dealer vampire. She never overused her power. A couple of times it was presented to us when she grabbed Michael and put him up against the wall. This is a girl who was 5'4", 110 pounds. We believed it. Why is it we believe it? Because the way it was established, her power fit well within the world building that was presented to us. And she looks fucking awesome.
Off, one by one.
They are the immortal damned.
Look at the consistency in the lighting, the consistency in the colorization, the consistency in the world building. You see it throughout the movie. You see the consistency in the characters. We learn about the protagonist and what she wants and how she's trying to get it. There's a few twists and turns. Craven is the antagonist. We think Lucius is the antagonist. He kind of turns into a protagonist at the end. We have so many characters in this movie that are dynamic. Victor is awakened and he is angry. He is almost antagonistic towards our protagonist until they cleverly show that Victor or Craven was basically manipulating and Celine was right. But then we are told, the screenplay is so well written. We are told that it was the lichens that killed Celine's family. We're led to believe that early on. And that it was Victor that basically saved her from the lichens. But in a little twist, we are then told what actually happened was that it was Victor that killed her family. And Lucius is somewhat of a tragic hero in this. The characters kind of move around and we're twisted in a way that these characters, but through it all, our protagonist is consistent. The main antagonist, which is Craven, I don't know if he was perfectly... it was probably the weakest part of the movie was Craven. He's like always bombastic, a little too aggressive. It seemed like he should have been more conniving, more intelligent. But
family lusting for power and wealth.
The chain has never been broken, not in 14 centuries.
Oh, geez, what's his name? Why did I forget his name? He is what is that actor's? Oh my God, come on. He was perfect in that role. Bill Nighy. Yeah, he's so good, right? His cadence, his ability to speak in a way that conveyed, I am an elder vampire. You never fucking doubted it. There's so many parts to this movie you never doubted, and it's a absolutely sci-fi fantasy out in left field fantasy world that takes place in modern day. But it felt believable. This doesn't happen by accident. This is why I love this movie. So well written, so well shot, so well acted and casted. The cast in Underworld 2003. Fucking brilliant.
Another driven by revenge.
Soon we'll defeat the vampires on their own ground.
The one thing I will say, though, the one thing I will say is they shoot a lot of bullets and never freaking hit, right? Like you would think if Celine has been using guns, you know, she's got the two guns, and she looks quite sexy doing it. Like the male gaze, well, if you're wearing that shit, you're going to get the male gaze. And don't freaking complain about the male gaze because, like, Scarlett Johansson made one of the stupidest comments ever when she talked about the stupid male gaze. Do you think that Chris Hemsworth never got the female gaze when he's running around, you flick too hard? Shut the fuck up about the male gaze. You walk around in a freaking Avengers movie with skin tight shit on with your big fluffy hair, your makeup done to the nines, and you're complaining about the male gaze, which made you millions of dollars. Scarlett, you're fucking smarter than that. At least Kate Beckinsale understood that being sexy. I do have a. What is the?
What's wrong with being sexy? I mean, there's no sexist.
Sexist, yes. It's okay being sexy, not being sexist. Kate Beckinsale played this role so well.
Do you see this human? He's attractive. I can't be positive, but I'm beginning to think the Lycans are following him.
Hold on, Michael.
Why are they after you?
And her power is believable. You just saw a 110-pound woman pick up a 6'1", 6'2" guy who was 190 pounds, maybe 200 pounds. But we believed it. It doesn't happen by accident. A lot of times we look at that and go, oh, fuck, please. The establishment of the character and how they make it gritty real, and they don't throw her power out there to the point of being unbelievable. But one thing is, they're really bad fucking shots. They can't hit shit. With the amount that they practice using 2 guns and machine guns, they expel a lot of bullets just for one hit.
Who are you people? You're in the middle of a war that's been raging for the better part of 1,000 years. A blood feud between vampires and Lycans. Werewolves.
The lore, again, this movie established the lore for the Underworld, and it was well done. Michael Sheen, was it Michael Sheen? Yeah, Michael Sheen that played Lucian. Fucking awesome job. Awesome job. Even Scott Speed, every time I see his name, Speedman, all I think about is the Tropic Thunder. That's all I think about, Tropic Thunder. But Kate Beckinsale was a balanced character, balanced protagonist who was, when you make a movie, when you write a screenplay, unlike Fantastic Four, you know what the problem with Fantastic Four is? We spent the first 30 minutes talking about a pregnancy. Your first scene and your second scene needs to connect the protagonist with the antagonist. It needs to lock them into a way that we start to understand what the conflict is. And we have to start believing that there's no way the protagonist can defeat this antagonist. This antagonist is fucking powerful. And then we get the inciting incident, which puts everything into motion. In Fantastic Four, the inciting incident is when Silver Surfer, the female version of Silver Surfer, which is fine. I know the male would have worked better. Okay, you put a female Silver Surfer in. But she just comes down and says, look, Galactus, sorry guys, your number's been called on the bingo card, and Galactus is coming. He's going to eat your world and love each other, and there's nothing you can do. What should have happened, you need to have connected, and we didn't get the connection between Galactus and the baby until they decide to fly a month in fucking hyperspace with a pregnant woman in the 3rd trimester to attack Galactus, who could probably defeat Thanos. None of this makes sense. You're thinking, what the fuck am I watching here? What they had to do, all they had to do when Sue Storm looked at the pregnancy thing and saw that she was pregnant, we should have saw a 3 or 4 second, a little effigy, a little silhouette of Galactus, this giant thing. And when she smiles, he opens his eyes to connect him with the baby, with the pregnancy, so that you need to create the tension and everything between antagonist and protagonist. Fantastic Four never did this. Underworld did this right from the first scene and throughout. It was building tension based on the decisions characters made. If you watch Stranger Things, which was disappointing, season 5, the first 4 episodes, disappointing, because none of the decisions were made on the part of the characters. It was forced by the plot. When characters make decisions that is forced by the plot, that is discerned as being lazy writing. Boring. It's hard to make a plot where the characters make decisions that drives the plot forward. As a screenwriter, you're always faced with every scene accelerating. And I will go back to Tombstone. Every scene in Tombstone. Every scene. And it's not so much different than Underworld 2003. It's a well-written screenplay. Well-directed, well-edited. Conflict between the protagonist and the antagonist. And the crazy thing, at the very, very end, Victor, who comes out we think is a protagonist kind of becomes an antagonist working against Celine. And then he finds the truth, and then they're on the same side, and then he wants to kill Michael. And there's a pretty good battle at the end between he's an elder with Michael, who is a vampire werewolf. The lore is solid, right? And then again, he becomes the antagonist. It's a flip-flop in a very well-written movie that keeps us. I thought maybe that how Celine killed Victor at the very, very end was a little disappointing. I kind of think that Victor as an elder, like, so 2 elders were killed in this movie, right? There's only Marcus, and Marcus is fucking kick-ass because he goes right from Corvinus, right? I thought that maybe they should have given him a little bit more gravitas. Maybe there was some scenes filmed before Celine did the one swipe and cut his head in half. It was well done, though. It was well done. I mean, Victor was obviously a kick-ass. And the lore of the elders, the lore of the lichen, the lore of everything that happened was so well done in this movie. I was so surprised. I haven't seen this movie in so many years. Being a screenwriter, you look at the shit that we're given today, except for Zootopia that does $600 million in its first weekend. Holy jeez. Zootopia. I mean, I love the first movie. But if we stay in a godless universe, the idea of sci-fi fiction movies, this is a well-written movie. This is a well-acted movie, a well-casted movie, a well-lighted movie, cinematography. There isn't much in Underworld 2003 that I would actively say, you know, maybe Craven, the main antagonist, the vampire, he should have had more depth. He should have had a little bit more conniving nature. He was just angry all the time. The fight at the end, like I said, with Victor could have been a little bit more epic, where maybe Victor, because he's an elder, had to fight both Michael and Celine. But maybe the studio, maybe that did happen. The studio said, look, we got to wrap this baby up because we're going too long. Studio usually gets final cut. So they'll make those decisions. They're the ones fronting the cash. So whoever fronts the money makes the decisions. That's the same on Wall Street as it is in Hollywood. And rightfully so. Except Sean Levy. I bet you Sean Levy gets final cut with his new Star Wars Starfighter. I bet you he'll get final cut. So anyway, that's...
A decision must be made.
Look at the consistency of the scenes, the color palette, the feel.
Centuries ago.
Human. He's not a human at all. He's a lichen.
And the power. There can be no such union. Greater than vengeance. You'll be lucky if I...
It's sheer consistency through the entire movie. But look at the color. So there we're almost given a black and white. We don't even notice it when we're watching it. We don't even notice it. It's a black and white scene with a little bit of tinges of blue, and probably underneath there's like a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green and whatnot. This is by design. This isn't an accident, but this is throughout the movie. So it gives us that feel. It's the same with Event Horizon, right? With the gravity drive. When they're in that gravity drive room, it's metallic, it's grays, it's spiky, it's medieval. It's the feeling that this thing is not your friend. It's literally feels like a ball with rotating things feels like the antagonist, and they made it feel that way. And it's the same thing with this movie. Same thing with Underworld. Every scene is consistency in the color palette, consistency in the lore, the tone. The acting was... The dialogue was fantastic. Guys, the dialogue usually sucks ass in most movies. This is going back to 2003. This is 22 years ago. I wish they made movies like Underworld 2003. I do.
Absolution will be yours the moment you kill Michael.
That is one of the most awesome visuals in this movie. I don't know if that's actually Kate Beckinsale or a stunt person. The fall. This one scene tells us so much. It tells us so much about the character, about her power. But it's not, when she projects power, it's not a power that's, I'm going to pick you up and throw you 50 feet. This is how power should be presented. When someone jumps off a 100-foot drop and they land and they walk away, we're like, okay, this person must kick a little ass. It's surmised power. That's the best kind of power because we want to see more of it. Why does Gandalf work so well? Because we want to see the payoff. We want to see lightning bolts coming from his from his hands. We're never given that. We're never given the payoff. So we're always thinking Gandalf's got to be fucking powerful because he never shows it. Well, you're probably right. But it's the desire for the payoff of the display of power, when you're given only slices of it, keeps you wanting more. And that's the power of great screenwriting, great directing, great movie making. Power that is surmised. We don't need to see it outright. That's the shit we don't buy. But this one scene of Celine falling 100 feet, this chick kicks ass. And that's what that tells us. She kicks ass. And the trailer's fucking awesome too. Why do they not make movies like this today? Why do they not make movies like this today? That's all I want to. I spent almost 20 years in Los Angeles screenwriting. I worked on productions. I worked on shit with people, friends. A lot of talented people that have left Los Angeles because of the bullshit. The utter garbage, crap, cesspool movie making. We take movies like this for granted. This is Underworld 2003. It didn't rock the world. It didn't shake the screenwriting industry or but it's remembered. And when you watch it, you remember or you realize why it's remembered. The badass long trailer that doesn't mind showing the cool shit. Yeah. Yeah, when he comes back as, I mean, that's, Tolkien understood power. Tolkien understood power when he wrote it. He understood power cannot be in your face. Power needs to be assumed, surmised, or if we see a powerful character, it's like Superman. Superman is a flawed character. As a screenwriter, I tell people, Superman is all powerful. He's got, his only weakness is kryptonite, and every single antagonist is some sort of something to deal with his genetics or biology or Krypton. It's a flawed character. If you're going to start the DC universe, you start with Batman. Batman is the most real thing in DC that you got. Superman is a flawed character. I would not want to write that script. He's a flawed character. He's a great character though. Don't confuse flawed with being a great character. He's a flawed character and trying to write him. Every Superman movie has lost money, every single one. And he's not a great world builder. Yeah, proper vampire and werewolf films are dearly wanted. You fucking rights they are. Good movies, just good movies are dearly wanted. That's one thing Guardians of the Galaxy did better than all the other Marvel movies. Color palette. Yes, color palette hues. Also, tone and world building, the consistency. He knew what James Gunn knew what he wanted to do with Guardians of the Galaxy. The very first Guardians of the Galaxy, he introduced Star-Lord. What's his name? Oh, jeez. Star-Lord, right? He's a little kid. He builds the sympathy up with the character. Then we see him as a grown man. He's stealing the Infinity Stone and that thing. He doesn't know he's got it. Then we see Gamora, who shows up as an antagonist. Then we see Rocket Raccoon with Groot. They're antagonists. They're all fighting each other, and they eventually become all become protagonists. But that is how you do character introduction. James Gunn knows how to do this shit. He just missed the mark. Like, holy dude, what the fuck were you thinking on Superman? When he comes back as Gandalf the White and fights, when Gandalf comes back, you realize we understood that Gandalf the Grey and Saruman the White were two different characters, and were based on a tiered level of power. So when he came back after defeating the Balrog, and which is basically, I guess was it Uru's decision? Whose decision was it? Whoever's decision it was to send Gandalf back as Gandalf the White. Was the perception of power. And it was the only time we got to see his power when Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas were about to attack him, and he kind of does this, he burns this, and the sword goes flying. It's like, well, okay, you can't kill him. Even if you wanted to kill him, even if you wanted to attack him. This is just a hint of what he could do. I hated that scene. I hated that scene when he goes up in Minas Tirith and he meets the Nazgul. And he breaks his staff. And basically, Peter Jackson made Gandalf look like a sissy ass. If Nazgul wanted to, if he wanted to destroy and kill Gandalf, he could have done so easily. And the only reason that he didn't, it was because he was called off to. That was an extra scene that was in the extended version. I didn't like that scene. That should have been a much stronger standoff between the Witch King and Gandalf. I didn't like that scene. Peter Jackson understood the lore really well, though. Yeah. When I was a high school sophomore, then in 2003, I was the target audience, and all of the boys love this movie. Fuck yeah. You see Kate Beckinsale in that tight shit. Tight black leather, but that wasn't... The reason was she was a convincing character. She was a convincing character. She played it well. Very well. This scene, it was hard to believe, right? She just, I mean, it's endless clips. Endless, clip of, how many bullets were in those freaking clips, man? Like, she's shooting and everything like that. Like, the one thing that is frustrating, because, like, they're shooting so many bullets and they never seem to hit. Except when it absolutely counts. Which makes sense in movies, because that's kind of what's supposed to happen. But...
Underworld.
That was when she kills Victor right there. There are so many reasons to like this movie. There's so many reasons that this movie works. Where's the... Do I have the... Yeah, that's the... oh, I got that one. Actually, I got it right back... can we see it? Actually, I have to go full screen. Yeah, I got the... it's one of the... So anyway, that is... when I take a look at... I look at movies... Like I say, I spent almost 20 years in Los Angeles. I've won hundreds of film festival awards with my screenplays. And again, you can Google my name, Danny Alex, Film Freeway. You can go on Stage 32. You can go on, see the awards I've won all over the world. Some very large film festivals, from the Berlin Film Festival to I think Toronto. I don't even remember them all. New York Movie Awards, New York Script Awards, Los Angeles Script Awards. I won Best Screenplay. But I've also received criticism. Every time you put your shit out there, you get criticism. And that's okay because that's how you learn. So when you're criticized, you don't take the criticism as being bad. Let me listen to the criticism and see if they're making a point. I don't give my screenplays to friends and family ever. I give it to people who I know are other screenwriters that will read through and say, this didn't work, this worked, this didn't work. Like, Danny, you've got to have this here. It's like, oh shit, I didn't realize that. Didn't even realize that. And as we all need that. If you're an artist in any way, or even in your daily life, family and friends are the worst people to get advice from, or, you know, their opinion from. They are. They'll always tell you it's the best. Or not the best, but they'll say, oh, it's okay. You know, I really enjoyed it. It's like, okay, well, I remember when I was a musician, I realized when I was given, you know, letting friends and family listen to music, like, why was it always good? Then I made a song that was absolute shit. Let people listen to it. It's like, oh, wait a second. I literally made this like out of key. So, you guys still liked it? Okay, I get it. I get it. And it's nothing against friends or family. That's the nature of friends and family, right? But if you're going to watch, so tonight I'm going to watch, what's the next one? It's Evolution 2006, 3 years later. I'm going to watch that one. I'm going to do a review on Evolution 2006 tomorrow. It's been a long time since I've watched it. But I do recommend, if you want a good movie that is consistent world building, consistent protagonist, antagonist, with a lot of slips, trips, and characters that you can enjoy, believe, with the consistency of a real focused plan between the screenwriter, the director, set, and cinematographer, and director, if I admit. Underworld 2003. I think if I put share screen, Underworld, IMDb, it had a I gotta remove that. There we go. So it had, it's a, oh man, come on guys. Seven out of 10, 298,000, and a 7 out of 10. I would give it, you know, based on today's movies, maybe movies based on, a 7 out of 10 is pretty good for movies back in that day. 7 out of 10 is pretty good. In today's world, if this movie came out, I would have to go for like a 7.5. I'd have to increase half a point. 8 is pretty strong, but because of the consistency, the total vision of this movie, the lore, everything that came together, and 8 would not be out of the realm of possibility for this movie. It would not be. It wouldn't be. There's Kate, Scott Speedman, Shane Broley, Craven. I thought kind of he was, and look, it could have been direction and the way the script gave him the lines. The lines I felt were so didn't really. Robbie Gee, I mean, he was fucking awesome, right? And the one thing, can I also mention, there was no DEI agenda in this movie, but yet it came across as naturally, I hate the D word, fuck it, naturally diverse. Because they just picked characters that, like the one Lycan, that big dude, Kevin Gravois, who played Ray's. He had the low voice. He was that big. Fuck, what perfect casting that was. This wasn't something where people got the role because of who they were. They got the role because they fit the role and you felt it. Even in some of the vampires. There were Asians, there were blacks, there were Caucasians, but it didn't matter because they were just characters. They were just people. And that's what we want. There were powerful women. There were powerful men. None of it was a statement for DEI guardians of Hollywood that are there now to merit the worthiness of a movie because you need a certain amount of this and a certain amount of that. It was just fucking good casting. I hate the DEI bullshit we get. I really do. Let people be people. Great actors will naturally find great roles. They really will. It's like Simu Liu now complaining that if you're not getting the roles that you're supposed to, maybe you shouldn't have, you've played a lot of roles that ain't done that well, my friend. You're not really a box office certainty. But if we take a look, surprisingly good. I'm impressed. The Lost Boys and Girls, 7 out of 10. Still one of the best action horrors ever made. Yes, when was that done? August 26, 2022? 7, ignore. Yeah, lots of 7s. A 10 out of 10. I don't know if any movie's truly a 10 out of 10. The most stylish action horror movie ever made. It is on the money. Stylish. I'm currently revisiting the Underworld series and have to state that the first movie has aged particularly well. And it has. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to talk this long about Underworld 2003. I thought it was going to be a 10 or 15 minute discussion. This has aged so well. It's like Event Horizon. It has aged so well. And when you watch it, better than people want to admit. Yeah. A gun-happy, panther-paced, werewolf-wrecking, vampire-necking, hyped-up horror hooteny. I don't know if it's so much a horror. Is it a horror? It's not really scary, is it? Enjoyable, amazing. Blood, bullets, and Beckinsale. Yeah, baby. Give me some of that Beckinsale. Here's what you want to see, right? You want to see the ones. If they show movies in hell, Underworld will be on the Ultra Screen Shutter. Oh my God, this movie is awful. I don't know. Wow. Hey, you know what? Everyone gets an opinion. If someone really didn't like it, that's fine. What's the point of being a vampire when you don't have to worry about drinking blood? Oh, so there may be a traditionalist? Hey, it's cloned now, so no worries. Why? Vampires do nothing vampiric. Oh, so they're a traditionalist. At one point, Kate Beckinsale's vampire character gets stabbed with a knife. And now that was a bad point in the movie, when she gets in the shoulder, she gets from the top. Lucius gets stabbed in the shoulder. That was a weak point in the movie. Yes. Why would Kate Beckinsale from a little thing, I thought it was a silver sword that Lucius had. That maybe it was a silver sword. But no, silver is for lichens, not for vampires. That's true. I remember seeing that. I said, this doesn't make sense. Then what's his name? Michael, because he's a med student. He goes, you're bleeding a lot. It's like, oh, then she passes out and the car goes over. You make a good point, my friend, on this one. Blood loss? That's true. Yeah. I mean, she would just heal. That didn't make sense. The plot needed something to happen. They needed Michael to save her, and that's what happened to the plot. But anyway, I think, people do have, when people, very oftentimes when people make these assertions, or like, that's a very good point. And there was another point that I thought, okay, well, geez, but look, that's in every movie. I try and think of the screenplays that I write, and those are like, when you write them, you really want to stay away from, well, it doesn't even make sense why they would do that. It didn't make sense why Celine would pass out from that little shoulder wound. Iconic vampire lady, much better than you think it's going. But regardless, that does not. One little scene does not ruin a movie. If that was the case, then every movie is fucked. Every movie is fucked. every sci-fi fan, like basically all I do is sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, in keeping with sort of like a godless universe and my other channel, Popper Aegis. As a screenwriter, I can overlook things that don't make sense to a certain degree. If the characters, the protagonist and the antagonist, have a conflict and there's tension and there's an introduction of that tension and conflict through the inciting incident that gives all these characters. So the first 20 or 30 minutes, you have to set up all the characters and all the supporting characters with their reasons to exist within the film. At the inciting incident, every character gets their marching orders. It's a lot to set up in the first 20 or 30 minutes. Oftentimes, the inciting incident comes within 20 minutes. Basically, you have 20 pages of screenplay to write. Each page is 1 minute in a screenplay. There is no wasted dialogue. There is no wasted screen time. You had better use every second of every minute to make sure you establish an epic fight between protagonist and antagonist. That's why Thanos worked so well. We understood this, the stakes. We understood the tension. We understood who Thanos was and the threat that he posed. With Galactus, it was kind of like, oh, baby, like what? Huh? What? It was such a, Fantastic Four was such a bad movie. Such a bad movie. And I use that as just a great example of how bad screenwriting, if it wasn't for, what's her name? Sue Storm. I forgot her name. Her name escapes me. She was the anchor to that movie. Everyone else was basically average. The Thing was just a wasted character. He was a cook and a pilot. Johnny Storm decoded an album. Good job, buddy. I mean, he did a couple more things. He was certainly a lot more effective. Reed Richards wanted to teleport the Earth without the moon. Problem. I mean, they're so, I'm going to get. Anyway, so that is, where are we here? That is Underworld 2003. I highly recommend it. If you're looking for some good nostalgic vampiric fantasy sci-fi horror, it kind of has everything in it. So well done. Watch the tone, watch the feel, watch the color palette. Watch, yes, both have become classics in my opinion. Yes. I remember them giving her shit for her outfits, and I think it was her husband that was the director for all these sequels too. Oh, it didn't do well. Yeah, it didn't do well with the critics. It was underrated. Yeah. Today would be a different story. I think critics were thinking, when characters, look, vampires are sexual creatures. So if you sexualize a vampire, that's fine. Look, most critics are fucking idiots. Okay, can I just be literal? I mean, I was an English major. I took creative writing. I'm a screenwriter. I've owned my own businesses. I worked on Wall Street. I look at the people on YouTube. I go, what the fuck? Why are you even talking any? It's the same shit from every freaking person on YouTube. Why don't you get deeper into the antagonist or protagonist or the story? Well, I really like this because, it's like Chris Stuckman. Holy jeez. Like, I don't like being mean. I'm not a mean person. I don't like, like he's got his own style. But a lot of what happened, if you guys, there's a great guy, Brandon McNulty. He is a guy who has a writing channel on YouTube who, I've watched some of his videos. They are very well done for writing, screenwriting, storytelling, understanding protagonist, antagonist, what is a good antagonist, protagonist, conflict, all this stuff. Brandon McNulty. I will promote him just because I think he does a fantastic job. One of the few people on YouTube that you can go to and actually get good story. The science of story. There's an entire science to understanding story. It doesn't happen by accident. Well, sometimes it does. A great movie sometimes does require some luck to get all the elements to put together. But Brandon McNulty, I do watch his channel from time to time. I think he's got some, as being a screenwriter, I love watching other people's ideas. We need to accept other people's ideas. We are no bastions of knowledge. We are sponges of knowledge. We need to accept ideas and intellect from other people around us. So I think that's really important, really important. So guys, we are going to leave it there for today. Tomorrow, like I say, I think, 3i Atlas tomorrow. 3i Atlas and Avi Loeb. I got some shit on him. We're going to do Underworld Evolution 2006. I got this African bridge thing I want to show. It's kind of funny, but there's a point to it. And all week, we are Monday through Thursday, every day, my friends. Here on A Godless Universe, where we cover science, history, philosophy, sci-fi, movies, we'll do almost anything, guys. I thank you for watching. And I will see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m.
Okay, children, let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby.
We'll do it live. F*** it.